Howdy, folks, and welcome to today's rendition of freshman volleyball between the hosting Beverly Panthers and the Peabody High School Tanners. I am Cody Shalfel on play-by-play, and my wonderful color analysis, Evan Alfano, is joining us. Evan, how are you doing today?
Doing well. I'm excited. We had a really fun matchup yesterday in terms of varsity volleyball. That was a good four-set win for Beverly.
So Evan having some tough. Evan, how are you now?
I'm here. Am I here? All right. So we had a good matchup yesterday in terms of varsity team and four-set win for Beverly. So excited to see again. It's exciting to have multiple teams, freshmen, a JV, and a varsity. I come from a high school where we're a pretty small school. We had just over 600 kids. So there wasn't a freshman team. It was just JV, varsity. And if you weren't good enough for one, that was it. And so here at Beverly to have, and a lot of schools in Mass have this, the freshman teams, it allows you to kind of develop players, and it allows you, if these players haven't played together before in terms of club, it allows them to play from freshman on to senior at least 4 years together. It kind of helps to build the chemistry of teams, and we always talk about communication, how important it is, and you can't have that without good team chemistry. To have players be playing for at least 4 years together, it allows that to really build up. So it's exciting to see what they have today.
Yeah, right. You said building a program, and we've been talking about the program over there in the varsity ranks, as this one is going to fall short. But it's good to be able to develop multiple levels, you know, the freshmen and then the sophomores. So a lot of these teams, a lot of these, you know, players, like you said, if you weren't good for one, then you were done, and they don't really continue to practice year round as that one gets over. That is Emma Fitzgerald. But like you were saying, like being able to develop through multiple levels is huge, and just keep the train going. As that one isn't handled well, that's 2-0 Beverly, 3-0 Beverly, excuse me, to start it off. Coach Seth Stanchel will be your head coach today for this Beverly squad. Now let's see what the Tanners have. That one rocketed right into the net. So quickly 4-1 advantage here. We're only playing 3 sets maximum. If a team wins by 2-0, there could be a coach's agreement to do just a third one for practice again. You know, a shortened season with everything considered. So we'll see how today goes for to beat your Panthers. Seven, like we were talking, we've done a couple of we've done a JV game together, we've done a couple of varsity games together, and we see some pretty close matches. Let's see if this can replicate some of that success that Beverly's varsity has. Nice little rally starting right here. Pushed over. That's Taya Killam getting it over. And a nice kill by Peabody, lead number 40 with the strike there.
Great point. So far, the best of this, obviously, very early first set. Both teams able to get themselves into the rally.
Didn't like the first one, went with the second serve. And 5-3 Panthers lead. No, but with your point with the development over, and as we were saying, like if you were going for a basketball team or a volleyball team, you didn't make JV and there wasn't a freshman team, most likely you're not going to go home and keep practicing. Like that's that.
I know that from personal experience.
Right, yeah. So it's nice to have, you know, these multiple levels where you can just continue, like keep the dream alive, like keep these girls playing year round, keep them playing at least enough where they can actually improve. So it is really hard at 13, 14 to just continue to keep grinding like that. But when you do get that, you can have success in multiple different departments.
And again, in the case of our school, so you'd be in a tough spot, especially if you were a junior. And I was a junior, and I didn't end up making the varsity team. And they had a rule in place, which it wasn't the NHIA, which is the New Hampshire governing body for high school sports. They didn't have a rule in place saying as a JV as a junior, you couldn't play on the JV team. You couldn't as a senior. But we had a rule at our school that if you were a junior, you weren't good enough for varsity, you were cut, and that was it. Because they wanted to develop the younger players. In this case, because you have a freshman team, it allows, again, if juniors aren't on the varsity team, it'll still open up some spots for them to play on the JV team for one more year.
37 at the service line. Tanner's taking the lead. But again, you just never know when it's going to click for a player, too. It might not be their freshman year. It might not be their sophomore year, but they might be, like the famous Michael Jordan was cut from his high school team his sophomore year. Carmelo Anthony was cut from his high school. And look at those. Those are two of the top, Jordan, the best player of all time. Carmelo Anthony, arguably a top 50 player to ever play basketball. So you just never know when it's going to click for an athlete. And just by doing this and letting them play a season and like continuing to play, like that just keeps their hopes more alive. So you could see, especially if after this year they go into the JV ranks and maybe they stay another year, but then their junior year they really turn it on. They get promoted to the varsity level and they stay there and become one of the better players. Again, you just never know when it's going to click. Well, let's see, good serve there from Beverly. And getting it over to the Tanners. Oh, a little back and forth action here as no one's able to get it. So Tanners take the lead again, 9-8.
Nice looking serve there. That was Abby Shipp who had to get it high and deep. And then Kira Day outside poked it over. So a couple nice plays for the Panthers.
Good serve by number 3 from Peabody. Apologies, we don't have a Peabody roster. But yeah, back to the, I remember when I used to, play sports, I never got cut. I got cut from one of my baseball teams from the higher level, so I had to play a lower level, and I did fine. But I never really got cut, but for basketball, for example, I didn't really play. I wasn't naturally talented at basketball, but I, worked really hard on it and became pretty good at it by the time I was in high school and out of it. And it can be very hard for, a young person like that to develop that work ethic. I was just a psychopath, so it was fine for me. But not everybody has that, and then you see some of these, dreams die out. But again, with this opportunity to play freshman ball and basically this being kind of like, a training year, can go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, it was a nice serve. It was number 15 for Peabody. It got a point for the Tanners. They were able to build a bit of a lead here, too. Been a back and forth opening set.
Three is your lead for the Tanners, 13-10. Again, games up to 25, win by 2. If we go into that third set, tied at 1, then it'll be a game to 15. And then again, also, even if a team wins 2-0, in terms of sets, you might see a situation where both teams just decide, what, let's get an extra round in for practice. And bada bing, bada boom. We'll have another third set to 15. Good job getting over from Peabody. Let's see if Beverly can do the same. Oh, good save there. That's number 2, Isabella Clark, and she ends up with a kill.
Great work. Both teams able to set up the pass in the set and then the hit. And a good finish there for the Panthers. A few errors on both sides early in the set, but starting to see some more rallies as the set continues.
This one's up, have to get it over. Does not clear. So Beverly varsity getting their first home run in about a year and a half. That's huge for the varsity club.
Yeah, and obviously it was September 26, 2019 was the last time.
Look at your memory banks. They're working hard.
Working hard dates.
Overtime.
So that was definitely a really important win for them. We'll see if it carries over here in the freshman game.
.37 back at the service line. She had a couple good serves. The left-hander. Good setup in front of the net. 40 with a smack over. And that'll just go a little bit out of bounds, but good form by Abby Shipp. Again, looking more for more fundamentals, being able to do things here instead of a win or a loss. That doesn't matter much. Just trying to teach these, girls about the game and try to develop them and their skills. And we're looking for more things just a win or a loss. Getting it over. Setting it, and Shipp can't get that one as that one sailed away from her. Get it?
I like that. That's your first pun right there.
Oh, poor Rich. He wasn't here to see that. He wanted more from me, but It's just, I don't know. I think he absorbs all the dad energy, and I just can't think of it. Come for the volleyball, stay for the commentary, I guess. 14-17, make it 14-18. Tanners are trying to close out set number 1. If they're approaching 20, as always we say, once you get into the 20s, the margin for error becomes so small.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think in a match like this, you know, more about, trying to get good experience in those type of situations in a close set, as we see the varsity team again and again able to battle back from it seems like it's over, and they're able to claw back, whether it's in a set or in a match altogether. And, you know, I think it starts with just being able to have experience in those close situations, and we'll see again as they trail 14-20 to the Panthers what they can do in a late set situation.
And we have the varsity team watching on over there by the Peabody benches. It looks like they might have practice soon for a game on Tuesday, the 30th.
Good date right there. So we're both remembering dates.
Look at, dude, we are just on fire today. My brain doesn't work this well any other time, so I'm glad it's showing up today. Peabody, a program we saw play Beverly earlier this week, I believe.
Yep, Tuesday.
Another Tuesday, look at that. That was a fun game going all 5 sets. Peabody taking the 2-0 set lead, and then Beverly storming back with a pretty exciting third set, or fourth set. The third set was more lopsided in Beverly's favor, and then a heartbreaker in that round of 15 in that 5th set. So we see the freshman teams face off today, and you can see Peabody has a really good program. You can see as they have an 8-advantage lead now. Here's Fitzgerald. And into the net, and that'll be a point for Beverly and Fitzgerald. .37 trying for it, but can't quite get it. But you can hear yell, "I got it." Good communication.
Yeah, that's again very important in this game, and that was a great serve too by Fitzgerald. I didn't jinx it there.
Normally that would have been a bad serve if you were going what the commentators jinxed, but Fitzgerald can't hear nothing, so another good clear one over. There's a few good serves by both sides today.
And right there you see 14-20. You talk about coming back late, and here's Beverly back to within 2.
And a collision between Isabella Clark and Emma Fitzgerald, and that will stop the Beverly run, and now just 2 points away from a Tanner win in set 1. 23 serving 20. Can't quite hold on to and control that one. So set point here. That one clears, and that will be set number 1 to the Tanners, 25-20. So they are 1 set away from the victory, as both teams will take a couple minutes to reflect. And Evan, let's take a couple minutes to reflect as well. What did you see from both teams there that you liked?
Yeah, and I think it started with, it was a slow start for both teams. Felt like a few service errors. We've seen that with, again, varsity team, JV team, kind of a slower starts. But I felt like the rallies really started to pick up for both sides, and Peabody able to kind of use that serve to help build a bit of a lead. And then off the serve of Emma Fitzgerald, they're late in that opening set for Beverly. They were down 14-20, but came back within a couple before the last 3 points went the way of Peabody. But definitely both teams starting to kind of get into this match. We're seeing more rallies, and should be an exciting second set.
Yeah, as you can imagine, serving is one of the more difficult things that happens in this level of competition. It can be somewhat difficult, but we've seen a pretty couple players have a pretty good amount of serves that get over the net and start those rallies. So that's something that's fun, but both sides example there. We'll see. Beverly seems to be ready. We'll see how long it takes the Tanners to join them, and it seems like it's just going to be a minute. So that 3 minutes we were promised is actually going to turn to about a minute and a half. which saves some time. Always like to see a little efficient match.
It's just a quick conversation, kind of tell each team, you know, for coaches, just what to work on. I think it's just kind of, all right, set one happened, but for Peabody, it's all right, what can we do to continue that success? And for Beverly, maybe what some things we can maybe work on to try to work their way back into the match.
We'll see as the Tanners take their positions. Beverly looks ready to go. We're waiting for the whistle. And we are ready to go here. This is Maria Braga. Can't get her over the net. Evan, I have to ask you this question. We were talking before pregame, while the warm-up songs were going on. Artist Flo Rida, you did not know that meant like Florida.
Took me about a decade to figure that out.
What did you think it meant? I want to know your thought process here between Flo Rida and the didn't quite get the Florida connection.
I think for a while I thought it was his name. That's what I assumed that was his actual name. Then I learned it was just like his
Flo
rap
Rida
name, and then I still didn't figure it out until I think someone like brought it up just nonchalantly at school because everyone knew it at that point, and I didn't, and I just in that moment
clue.
I was shocked.
This man's certificate says Flo Rida. We should have him on a broadcast. Talk about that. What was your inspiration between the name? So, like, you thought this man's mother named him Flo Rida.
I did. And I think for a lot of rappers, like a lot of people that have different names or artists, that was my thought process for a long
Wayne
time.
was first name Little, last name Wayne.
That one.
Jay-Z was another one of them that you thought.
I'm trying to think of what other ones that just, I don't know. But
that's funny. That is hilarious to me. Is a 3-2 Tanners lead. Make it 4-2 for the Tanners.
One thing that we've talked about in previous matches, not about Flo Rida, but
I was gonna keep going on the Flo Rida train. Like I was gonna ask, like, where'd you think he was from?
Oh, Arizona maybe. But
Flo Rida from Arizona.
Getting early leads instead of going back to the match.
Right. Let's rein it in here, fellas.
I've definitely seen that teams that are able to start quick are able to do well and kind of keep that lead. And for Beverly, the varsity program yesterday, the sets 1, 2, and 4 they were able to win. It was because they were able to get quick starts. And I think the third set that they lost yesterday was it was like an 8-3 lead or something for Saugus, and that kind of helped them to build that lead. And we're seeing right now a quick start for Peabody, up just 5-4, but again, having an early lead helps just to build the confidence as a set goes on.
Yeah, we'll see which team can go on a run. We've seen both teams go on a little bit of a run. Let's see who is the beneficiary of that first, and 2-point lead for the Tanners again. 10 years, and still just thought, I can't get over this.
I don't know if it was 10 years, but it felt like it.
It felt like it.
I was late to the party.
Little Flo Rida from Arizona. That's
I don't know what state.
Flo Rida was interesting. I think it's kind of a tale of two careers for him. I mean, obviously, I remember him from 2007 to like early mid 2000s. Flo Rida was popping back then, and then when he came out with like My House and like Whistle, like back in like we were in like 8th grade freshman year, that's when he rejuvenated his status with the youth. Good reflexes up front by Tanners. And some substitutions here looks like Ari Figuera is about to check in, and checking out, I believe, is Keelan Cannon. Yes. Good job from Keelan. Good serve there by Braga. That's going to tie this ball game up at 7s.
She served to start the set, couldn't make it, but good for her to get back up there and hit one over. Another one that looked good, but just fell a bit wide on her. What would you say, in your opinion, is the hardest shot in volleyball?
Hardest serve, shot
a set, a hit, a pass. Like, which do you think would be the hardest one to hit?
Shoot, man. I mean, when I played volleyball in gym class, gym class all throughout here, I was put mostly in the front because, I was more taller than everybody else. I had some bunnies. You might, maybe not now with my, advanced age and weight, but I used to be able to get up there, Evan. I can almost dunk still. Almost. That's my claim to fame. I can almost dunk. I would say probably like receiving a serve could be, for me, for someone who doesn't have really any volleyball experience beyond just gym class. Those things can come, especially if someone who's really good at serving, those things can come at you.
Yeah.
And being able to like get in position, not only time it up and hand-eye coordinate it up, but like not jump out of the way because you're scared. Like that is something that's a real talent. Also, some of those like weird ones that kind of come up at you and you have to hit it at a weird angle. Those are super tough, obviously. But I would say like a serve receive can be pretty difficult, as Kalia Shumaraya fails to get over that time. So 11-10, Tanner's ahead.
Good looking second set here. I'd probably agree with you though with the returning a serve. Because I've talked about this before, it can hurt. It can be a little painful with the ball hitting the forearms.
Like, especially if you get onto like more advanced levels. Like if you're in gym class, a lot of times like just underhand serves, and those aren't that difficult. But like like every gym class, you have one or two like people that actually play volleyball, and it's like, just relax, man. We're just trying to have some fun. Like I have math class after this. I'm not trying to get all sweaty now. This one's up. 13-10, make it 14-10. Tanner's starting to do on that little run you were talking about.
I think around the same time of the set, they're able to string some points. Started with the serve, able to build a bit of a lead here.
End up going on an 8-point lead at one point, brought down to 3, and then obviously Tanner took it from there. But we'll see if this lead can get up to 8 like it was before. Swing and a miss there. But a good attempt from Beverly. 10-16, nice little run Peabody has gone on here as ducking out of danger is Olivia Eldestino.
I think that'd be like a campfire right there.
Campfire, as Rich would say, left the marshmallows at home.
Exactly.
He loves himself a campfire or two. Shout out Rich Francis, our play-by-play guy here that we've worked with a couple. Great guy, great guy.
Handles the varsity games.
And here's that 8-point advantage that we were talking about before. Tanner's going on. Make it about 10 or 9 in a row for them.
Number 31 serving really well and she's building a lot of confidence. Again, she goes back to get a ball. There's no ball retrievers. One of the new rules. Obviously, no switching sides for teams. Got to get that hand sanitizer as you check in and check out. Go through a lot of different changes for the, again, it's got to be tough when you're coming in as a freshman and the rules are a little different than what they usually would be. But rules of the sport are the same. That obviously matters the most.
And a nice little run here and make it 20-10, a 10-point deficit, as Peabody has really gone on a rampage, and that's number 31 at the service line, doing a fantastic job. Bump set, no go. That one, he gets into the scorer's table.
She's mixed up a little bit, I feel like, on the serve. Sometimes it'll loop it up a little higher, sometimes a little more power.
I can't get over the slow rider story. Like,
okay.
No, but I'm going to tell you a different one. It's funny what kids remember and think. Like, my brother didn't think Paul Revere was a real person. He thought it was just a poem, and he was a character in the poem. Remember, we went to take him to his first Red Sox game, and we got scalped out of tickets.
Okay.
So,
fun.
My brother was all upset. I was obviously a big baseball kid, so my mom's boyfriend at the time was like, I'm going to buy tickets for tomorrow's game. I'll stay with Riley in Boston. You and Cody go home. So me and my mom went back home. Riley and Joe stayed up in Boston as Beverly gets back to serve after the run finally ends. They're at 13 for the Tanners. And Joe was taking Riley around Boston, and they went to the graveyard where Paul Revere is born. That one gets over. Tanners can't capitalize.
Serve there for Ella Boyle. Beverly tries to get back into it.
And then Riley goes up to the Paul Revere, because we had to do a project about him in third grade. And he was like, that's funny. And Joe's like, what? What's so funny about a graveyard? And he goes, they have Paul Revere here. And he goes, yeah, what's so funny about that? as 24. This is going to be set point here. And Riley goes, he wasn't real. He's just part of the poem. He's in that story. And he was like, what are you doing? What? You have to go back to school.
That's funny.
So Beverly now has to go on a nifty little run. We'll see if both squads agree for a set 3. But it's fun to what kids like think is actually going on, because they don't know nothing.
Right.
Kids don't know nothing. I babysat enough and coached just younger kids enough to know kids don't know nothing.
Right.
They're smarter than you think, but they don't know anything.
Good serve there from Olivia Adelstino.
And another good one is to see if the Tanners can do something with this, and no go. So
it's 3 match points saved so far. Beverly teams just never give up. We're seeing that here at the freshman level, just like the varsity level.
nice little culture being built, and that one gets over as well. We've seen crazier things, Evan. We'll see if Beverly can actually make this comeback.
Right.
(24-16) Beverly staying alive. And there you go. Nice little 7-point in a row rattled off.
Yeah, Adelstino serving well, just like with 31 and Peabody. Sometimes when you get a couple over, it just builds confidence.
And the commentator's curse strikes again. Both teams are going to go in. By the looks of things, we're still trying to see a signal whether they're going to agree for a third match. It looks like they're huddling up 4-1, so we might be getting match number 3 here.
Yeah, count down the scoreboard from 3, so it does look like we're going to get a third set, but the match itself goes to Peabody because they take the first 2 sets, 25-20 and 25-17.
Yep, so Peabody takes the match officially. They'll do one more, I believe, for practice. This one should be to 15 like it was last time we called a game in the JV level. So this will most likely go to 15, and then the winner of that is just more practice, get the girls some experience and stuff. And that's more stories for us to tell about not knowing how things work.
Right, and that's always fun, right? And again, at this level, as you see a bookshelf, as we're changing locations here between sets.
Maybe they're telling us we should read about things before we start talking about
like
them, because we don't know. Again, you just don't know nothing.
So a little story time space. But again, like this third set, again, win-loss at this level, we talked about it just doesn't matter at the freshman level. And I think that's a big reason why they're playing a third set, because they're here to kind of, again, we talk about building the fundamentals and just trying to get as much play in as they can. Again, it's been a different season, starting a bit later, and they're just trying to spend as much time on the court as they can. So a good chance here, set number 3.
Yeah, I remember during the winter breaks over at school, Evan, I go back home and I would coach my old middle school basketball team. And obviously I helped with the varsity, and I also helped with the JV because I love working with the kids. A lot of those kids were still there when I went to a K-8. So when I was in 8th grade, those kids were kindergartners and first graders. I remember playing, after school outside on the mini hoop, and they would come and play. And I remember a lot of those kids, so it was fun to work with them. But that JV that we had, it was basically just implementing the playbook and kind of getting kids to go for that next level. And I remember there was a kid, I love this guy. He was in 8th grade, still in JV. He wasn't good at basketball in particular, but had the spear, was in every practice, tried very hard as Tanners take a 2-0 advantage. As it says 25-107 on the score, but it's actually 2-0. But he scored his first ever basket.
Beverly's pulling away here.
Yeah, Beverly is pulling away. But he scored his first ever basket in his last game, Evan. But do you know what happened there?
What happened?
He scored on the wrong hoop.
Oh.
And everyone was like, no. But I got up, I said, that was a textbook layup. Good job. And then I told him that, in a playoff game, I did that, and I lost us the game. And he got so, like, really? I was like, yes. That happened, so don't get down on yourself. You did what you were supposed to do. He goes back on the court, and I sit on the bench, and some kids goes, did you really do that? I was like, no.
But, you're taught to
give the kids some encouragement. Yeah.
You didn't tell him what basket. You told him shoot the ball into the basket, and that's what he did.
Yeah, it was a good layup, too. Like, that was the best layup I've ever seen that kid take. So, 108-26, as it is a 3-3 game in reality.
Yeah, 3-3 here in the third set. Serve there ends up under the...
Looks like Kira Day was in the service line.
So again, I think we're playing a 15ers. Little knuckler serve there, spins just wide.
I believe 15. I guess we'll find out when we get there. If this is the score, then we're well past that 15-point threshold. At the line right now, Taya Killam. That's a good serve by her. This one's skied up in the air.
A little light there. So Beverly able to, they were down a couple points early, worked their way back of a 5-4 lead.
5-4 lead, and that one hit the lights. Reminds me, back in elementary school, we would have a teachers versus students volleyball and basketball match every year. That's a good rally by Beverly.
That was Clark. Great power there at the net to get the point for the Panthers.
And then my old kindergarten teacher, I believe, actually played volleyball in college, and she hit one up, hit a light, and it just came down.
Oh.
Jim, we didn't have Jim for the next week. I was a little mad.
That's a great serve there from Killam, and Beverly's starting to string some points together.
Yeah, they are. And you can hear the shouting by the varsity team over there on the track. And again, we talked about in the varsity games, like they are always energized for their team, and that's something huge. And not a lot of schools do that. Not a lot of kids this age can, stay in focus for that long. And they're doing a great job, pumping each other up and having a really good relationship with one another. And that sees that it carries over. And that is by Coach Shalafor, who came in and now in her second season here at Beverly is really encouraging that type of behavior. Killam gets it over yet again, 8-4 Beverly. Make it 9-4 Beverly as they are now on a little run.
And one thing I liked, you saw a Peabody player do this, is on the first toss, just let it drop down, didn't like the toss. Again, you can do that as much as you want and just get the toss that works for you and get it over. And on fire serving right now.
Taya again doing super well. This one won't get over. That's 3 hits, and Beverly might take this set straight up. So 10-4 Beverly in the advantage. Let's see if they can get it over. Peabody, this one's a tricky one, and Peabody will finally get a point. 10-5 in favor of the Panthers.
Great serving though from Taya Killam. She's able to help Beverly rack up good chunk of points there, and also working hard, it was Clark as the middle hitter.
Killam can't corral that one. 10-6 now for the Tanners. Again, just a 15. I mean, they could make a comeback quick. So we'll see if Beverly can put them away, get back at the service line, and string together the last remaining. 37 serving. She's been good from the service line tonight. Left-handed. Almost like how, a left-handed punt in football, or a left-handed quarterback, it comes out a different way, and that can be something that could be troubling as a defense.
I was in trouble. I'm always going to bring up my tennis.
Right.
Lefties are always so hard to play with as a righty because they're able to just spin the ball off the court when you're trying to return a serve. Obviously, it's hard to do that with volleyball. It's just a straightforwards, but as a righty, it's always tougher to play against lefties.
Well, it's still a different rotation there. Like left-handed quarterbacks, notoriously, like receivers have trouble with them because the ball it spins a different way, which causes it to move a different way as well. Baseball, not so much because both handednesses can spin the ball different ways. It's more arm angle than arm placement, I guess, or what arm is your dominant arm. But I know like the Patriots love getting left-handed punters because it looks different. It feels different. Off the foot, it does something different, which can screw with the heads of the receivers. So we'll see if that could be something that happens here in volleyball. It spins a different way. Normally it might tail, but this time it trails the other way. So 12-8, Beverly just 3 points away from taking this, I guess, faux third set. Again, Peabody already took set 1 and 2 by a score 25-20, 25-17. So they are awarded the win here after having a couple really good runs in their games.
Around this point in the set where Peabody would get points together. We'll see now that Beverly has the lead what happens.
Let's get over. Good job there. Good reaction by Killam. And into the net goes number 10. And the ball falls to the court. Again, just need 2 to string together. Here's number 8, Abby Ship. She's had a couple kills tonight. And won't get one there.
Tight third set here. Beverly just up by 3 now, 13-10. Or did I say that? 14-10.
So balls in their court, literally and figuratively, as Ari Figuera will try to win it for Beverly here. She won't. And it is number 38. 14-11 Beverly. That's going to get over. Keep the game alive. Panthers have to stop it here. That's going to get over. We will have more volleyball. Oh, back and forth. And Peabody now just down by 2.
Great rally there, both sides. Able to get a few nice passes. Able to roll it over from that a few times. A great looking serve there. That's going to be an ace. So 14-13 now, Beverly. That was number 38.
They don't need to get the win. If they can just get one more point and then bring it to 15-14. Again, it is win by 2 still. This will get over. Set the pass. Oh, good job there by Beverly. And we're going to go into a little bit extra, as 16 is now the target score.
We assume. We're pretty sure we're going to 15.
Hey, we've gone to 30 before, so we're not going to say 16 is the ultimatum. But as it stands right now, first to 16 wins. And Tanner's trying to be the one to get there. Beverly also trying to be the ones to get there as they would get their first set. Again, still the win goes to the Tanners. So 15-14, this could be it. Beverly is going to serve, and that is going to be number 13, Maria Braga, and she has had some good serves today. Barring that one, but it's all right. 15-15 now the score, so 17 is your marker. And it's number 6. That will get over the net. And Sydney Stevens started it out, and Ship couldn't get it over, so here is now match point.
Tanners, again, they trailed, I think it was 9-4, so a good fight back for them in this third set.
And this will get over. Beverly has to get it over to keep this one alive, and that would be it. As that is going to be a match, so 2-0 the win, and if you count that last one, 3-0 the win for the Tanners. So Beverly goes down. Tanners come in here and get a nice win. They'll wave goodbye. Evan, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Good match. You know, it started, again, a bit slow for both sides. They able to work the way back, get some good rallies. Again, to me, and I think to the team, the coach, Coach Stanchel, that the final score just, it doesn't really matter. It's about getting just some experience and able to kind of keep building on the fundamentals. And it was a fun match to watch.
I share the same sentiment. So from everyone here at BevCam, I'm Cody Shalfu, my partner, Evan Alfano. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to tune in Tuesday night for some varsity action between Beverly and their opponents then. So have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everybody. Have a safe and happy Friday. We will see you back here on Tuesday.